We have a unique story to tell. And we want government to invest in justice and truth. We speak for ourselves, our own truth, and our own voice. You can't steal our identity. You can't steal our culture. You can't steal our language. Together we can bring back our practices, unite us all as Queenslanders to make our state lead Australia in healing together. Our history, our stories, our voices are not divisive. Truth will unite us, refine our policies, strengthen our practices, and inform our future work as all Queenslanders. Queensland government policy will be informed by our truth-telling, I'm very sure of it, to rewrite and co-design policies to begin to thread the tapestry of our history, our stories, our voices, to be inclusive of all policy principles, all priority issues, be it local, state, and national, and be aligned to the Human Rights Act. We are here. We exist. We are resilient. We are resistant. We have survived. Always was, always will be Aboriginal land. Keep the fire burning, loud and proud. Thank you.
Anybody knew about the gate, the close-up gate? We were locked in. We were in jail, right? Locked in our own country here. And just remember one thing that, Jerry never die. We're always here.
When they come up and ask me about your truth-telling, I said, I'll do it, but I want to do it with my children. So I'll tell my story when all my children are around me. You know, where I was taken from. I show them today that where I was taken from over one day. The old house is still standing. Taken off my grandmother. Placed in the dormitory. Only 6 years old. But I want to sit down and tell my children, you know, my life.
Yeah.
You know, thank you very much for turning up today. Love you, say God bless you.
They came and grabbed us from our mother and put us into the dormitory, into the girls' dormitory. There was the state people for you. I'm supposed to look after you, but they took you. I've been into 2 homes from when I was small and from when I was a teenager. And I never knew. I forgot about my brothers and my sisters. I didn't even know their names. And, you know, it was really hard for me to know my people. I didn't even know my own family.
What did they do? That's why they built Sherbeck, to get rid of people that's on their land. That's not their land. That's blackfellas' land. I said, that's nobody's. That's not blackfellas' land. We belong to the land, not blackfellas. All he's coming to do is do farm and want to do this and that. Destroy the land, make mines and everything up there. Destroy everything. That's why this weather is going upside down. Because of what's happening here.
That our sisters and brothers and aunties and uncles, especially our women, were sent away to work for little money for the white man. And they were cruel. My sister Pansy shared with me because she got sent out. And the husband would come home drunk and carry the shotgun around. I think it was out of Roma. Then she'd walk to the train. She'd run away because the white man carrying the shotgun around wanted to hurt his family. She wanted to come back home to Sherbrooke, so she walked in the dark.
When I was growing up, I always thought that the government was looking after us. But to tell you the truth, whenever I stood in front of a white person, I would never look them in the eye. I would always look down at their feet, because that's just how I felt. I felt that they were the authoritative figure. I wanted to do the truth-telling story just for my family, for future generations, because I was told by the truth-telling lot that no one could touch that material until 100 years. And I just wanted my future generations to know just what I went through, because I made a lot of mistakes, as a lot of young people do. But it was the policies and the procedures that we lived under that really, really got to me.
Up in our cemetery, there are other older people, elders who have passed on, who couldn't tell their stories, that went to their graves with sad eyes because they couldn't tell their story or how they was feeling about how they were treated. For me, I look around this yard, and it's great that you can see so many people that are willing to support this. And it gives me the great feeling of my healing.
My father, Lawrence Bell, was a white blackfellow who was carried on the shoulders of grandfather Willie Mackenzie in 1904 and was in the march where they marched him up near Ipswich to Sherwood. It took them 2 weeks to march here, and they were put on here at that time. My older brother, Gordon Gaylor, was playing marbles with his friend outside on the street over there somewhere, him and his friends. And one of the white workers' daughters, she was only a young girl, she kept on humbugging them. And my brother Gordon, he chased her. And the superintendent of that time, he got hold of him and he was sent to Palm Island. He was about 14, I believe, at the time, and he was sent to Palm. We never saw him again until he was in his 30s.
My language is my identity. That's where I come from. I'm a Wakka man. I'm a proud Wakka man. This old fella here, he encouraged me to go and run that language program in schools. We're on Wakka country. They got to learn Wakka language, not German, not French. We have to learn Wakka language on Wakka country. That's going to be my goal. But I'm glad I got my brother beside me, my two brothers. This fella, he's a storyteller. My nan gave him, she said, the next fella in your family is going to be the storyteller. He's going to be the dancer in the family, which he was. Next, that big brother beside me, my nan always said, that fella he's going to be a leader. You guys need to start sticking together and making sure you don't lose your identity, who you are and where you come from.
So, I'd just like to acknowledge one thing, or two things actually. The courage on display today and the willingness. I acknowledge the courage because it takes courage for people to tell their story, but it also takes courage for people to sit down and listen to it. And the willingness is identified with people willing to hear something. Because if they're willing to share, then they're willing to teach. And if we're talking about future generations and those to come, we all have an important part in that. Because our children then don't grow up ignorant if they're taught. And the easiest way to teach your children is by not what you say, but what you do. The way your words and your actions go hand in hand. And don't get me wrong, there have been past injustices on this community that still leave scars today. There's still a lot of rifts that we see when it comes to dealing with government and people of political persuasion. But in saying that, and if this is a truth-telling forum, then I'm going to say some truth here too. Sad to say that division in the communities come because the easiest way to conquer a people is to turn the people against the people. And we're still dealing with that today. So we need to identify what type of truth we want to tell and then scope the surroundings, the parameters of that, how we want to be born out of that. You don't plant the apple tree and go out and pick lemons. If we want to make lemonade, let's plant lemon trees. Because all the stuff, with all due respect, doesn't have to be political. We, the people, hold the government to account. We, the people, dictate what we want to teach our children. And the last time I checked, Australia was a free country. Nobody owned me, no chains on me. I'm a free man, not because of where I live or what I do. I'm a free man because of the way I think. Nobody owns this but me.
I'm going to read to you a poem. It says, it's called I Am, and it was written by my brother, Les Collins. And it goes like this. Aboriginal I am, past, future and present. Aboriginal culture validates my rights, my essence. Aboriginal I am, that's the fact. No power on this earth can ever change that. Don't patronise me with outpourings of altruism. While you oppress my peoples in your militarised prison. Give it the guilt-appeasing title of reconciliation. Don't you see your approach reeks of condescension? You dare give us your version of native title. Can't you see that it's your racialism on the recycle? Keep blacks in their place. Low life expectancy. This is genocidal culling. Excess mortality. Aboriginal I am, past, future and present. Aboriginal culture validates my rights, my essence. Indigenous Aboriginal I am, that's a fact, no power on this earth can alter that. Aboriginal law, Aboriginal ways and culture says this is my country, mother and future. Want to set things right? You want to set it right? Get over your socialisation. Accept Aboriginal law as supreme for this nation. When your forebears stole my country, it was racial violation. What has happened since demands reparation. We will forgive if your efforts are of the honourable intent. Unconditional recognition of our sovereignty. Pay the rent. Aboriginal I am, past, future and present. Aboriginal I am validates my rights, my essence. Aboriginal I am, and that's the fact. And let me tell you, no power on this earth will ever, ever change that.
I tell you this morning when we started off, I didn't know how many speakers we would have and what would happen, but I think you had an interesting day. Would that be a fair thing to say?